What you doing?
Hey, just finishing this claim to get Dave back on the road.
Nice. I wonder what Dave's doing.
You do your thing. We've got you covered.
Hey, is the power off on this?
I don't know. Just take it off.
Safety violation, unsafe work conditions.
In the construction trades unions, safety is our highest priority, and we train you to recognize and speak out on unsafe working conditions so that everyone arrives and goes home safely. Learn about careers in construction at georgiaconstructioncareers.com.
Welcome back to another episode of Keeping It Real with Najeh Wilkins, presented by georgiaconstructioncareers.com. Thank you so much for joining the show. Today, we have a lot to talk about. We're going to have two guests on. Our first player from out of state, Owen from Bluffton, Bobcats from South Carolina, and then we're going to talk to Westlake head coach Rico Zachery, and then conclude the show with my top 10 headlines and a little bit about recruiting and things like that. But without further ado, I know he's already ready. Let's welcome on head coach Rico Zachery from Westlake. He just walked away. There he is. All right. Hey, coach, how you doing?
Good. Sorry about that. I had to close the door.
No problem.
How you guys?
We're doing good. We appreciate you coming on the show today.
Yeah, no problem. Appreciate you having me.
Yes, sir. So, Coach, I want to talk quickly about last year. You know, it was your inaugural year at Westlake. You guys had a really good year, made it to the quarterfinals. Would you just say last year kind of lived up to your expectation of what you kind of thought or you had for this team?
Well, I really didn't know what to expect. I knew they always had a strong program, so it was definitely a program that I was interested in. As far as the expectations go, it's your first year, so you're just trying to get everything installed and instilled in everybody. And, you just kind of see where it goes. But we had a great group. We had a great group of seniors, and, they were willing to do the things they needed to do to be successful.
Yes, sir. And then building from year one to year two, Coach, how did kind of the offseason look like, starting with spring training and obviously in the summer and then now into the season? How did that look for you? What were some goals you kind of set for this team this year?
We got some talent on this team, so we obviously just wanted to, make sure that we're trying to maximize the potential that we have, and so we worked on some things in the off season to try to get to that point from a physical standpoint, physicality standpoint, and a mental standpoint, and just try to be the best version of ourselves every single day, and work hard every day and see, just kind of see where that takes us.
Yes, sir. Well, Coach, I want to talk a little bit about your offense. They've been, blazing hot this year. Already 3 50-point games. You averaged about 51.25 a game. So just what's allowed the offense to kind of click and play at such an efficient rate so far this season?
I mean, quarterback play is always something that's important when you're talking about offense, and I think our offensive line's a lot better this year, probably better than they've been in a while, just because of the development of the group. We played a lot of young guys last year, and those guys are starting to step up and play for us. Sean Smith's been our quarterback. He's done a great job of just operating. That's what we ask him to do. We don't ask him to be, Joe Montana or anything like that. We just need a guy that can get in there and kind of, be in the driver's seat. And that's what he's done. He hadn't turned it over much. He's done exactly what we've asked him to do. And right now we're executing, and, we're still making some mistakes here or there, but, it's going well for our offense right now. But I do want to note that we have 7 defensive touchdowns and that 50 points a game. So that kind of skews it a little bit. Nobody really says anything about that, but that we do have 7 defensive touchdowns right now.
Okay, gotcha, Coach. We got to talk about that in a second. And speaking of, you spoke a little bit about your offensive line, so obviously I want to give them some love too, Coach. So tell me some of the guys that are anchoring the offensive line for you. Give me some of their names that have really stepped up and really helped out this offense and, blocking and giving time for the quarterback as well.
Obviously, one Gaston is, the big one that everybody kind of knows about. One's a junior, 6'8", 335, has offers from, over 30 different Power 5 schools, just about anybody you could think of. He's come a long way from just a young kid mentality last year, just trying to figure it out as a 10th grader. And this year you can see the development, mentally and physically. And you can see, how hard he's worked. And, he's kind of dominating the game. Dominic Stewart's the other. Dominic's our only senior. And he's starting to heat up a little bit. He's 6'5". He was 220 last year, and he's 265 right now. So he gained a lot of weight. Offseason did a really good job with him. And, he's doing a good job of leading those young guys. And, we got some other guys that are, young and doing a great job and executing their job, doing their job, and, just playing with a lot of effort up front. And that's what we asked for.
Yes, sir. And then I want to talk a little bit about your playmakers, Coach. I want to start with Travis Smith Jr., right? He has 265 yards and 3 touchdowns a season. What kind of dynamic does he just add to your offense? And then just tell me a little about the other playmakers on your team that's just really stepped up this season.
Travis is more of a vertical threat. He's a bigger body on the outside, on the perimeter that you like to have. You could throw jump balls, back shoulder balls, and he does make the quarterback right a lot. He's that kind of guy. We got other guys. Zion Williams has been great for us. He's our second leading receiver. Zion's one of the guys that started for us last year. He's just come a long way as far as route running and speed goes. He's a sleeper, man. He's a really good player. He does, offer a lot of speed. So he and Travis together has done a lot of great things. Our running backs, Tamir Bransford and Naeem Odini, they make everything go. We are able to throw the ball because we can run the ball. So those guys have been really good for us, and they open up the pass game because people have to respect the run game first.
Yes, sir. And then overall, just how would you rate your running game as a whole? Coming together this season, you mentioned some of your running backs doing a really good job, but just, collectively as a unit, run game coordinator, offensive coordinator, all of it coming together with your quarterback and running some read options. How have you liked that so far this season?
It's been good. We just, we kind of just do what we do. It's not a lot of read option. You know what I mean? It's more downhill run and then getting the ball out in space to the receivers, once you get, the box count that you want and things of that nature. So, it's all game time, and it's been good. We just got to keep getting better because like I said, there's things that we absolutely need to work on, even though we're scoring points.
Gotcha, Coach. Well, now I want to move to the defensive ball, and you gave us some love. 7 defensive touchdowns is very impressive, Coach. I know this is a heavily talented, heavily recruited group, right? You got 7 players just in your 2024 class that are 3-star players and highly ranked on 247. So just tell me, Coach, how do you get the most out of this group with such, immense talent and getting them to lock in and play at a high level every day?
We just ask them to do a few things. We don't try to, to maximize them. We don't want them thinking a lot. We want them to be able to play fast on defense and be able to use the talent that we have, So we just ask them to do their job, play fast and play physical, and that's about it. Effort is over everything when it comes to defense at Westlake. So, we really preach those 3 things. And like I said, we try to keep the scheme as simple as possible. When you watch the tape, it may look like a lot of different things, but we got ways to communicate it with our players to keep it very simple. So, I think that's been the best. That's been the biggest thing with us and these guys, and just kind of letting them go and letting them play and not handcuffing them.
Yes, sir. And then just speaking of seeing them already, see them every day coaching practice, just in your eyes, Coach, how elite do you think they could end up becoming, before the season is set over and, before you go into, obviously, region matchups and then the playoffs? How elite do you think this defense can be?
I think it's a process. You know what I mean? I think we got a chance to be pretty good, but I think it's a process. Just us getting a feel for what they do well and, and trying to figure that part out and these guys getting coached up, every game. Here we are in the 4th game and they still make mistakes here or there. So, I think the coaching part, and I think that, like I said, knowing exactly what we're good at, and trying to figure those things out and working out some kinks, I think we got a chance to be pretty good. I think we're on the right track.
Yes, sir. And then I want to highlight just a couple players on the defense. I want to start with, obviously, Christian Peterson. Just what does he kind of bring to your team? I know he's committed to UCF, and, he's been having a good year so far. Just what does he bring to that defensive back group?
Christian's very versatile. You talk about him being a defensive player, an offensive player. He can do a lot of different things. And on defense, that's kind of that's kind of his, advantage to some of the other guys. He can play man, he can blitz. So he could, you can line him up at linebacker or outside linebacker and line him up at safety. You can even put him out at corner sometimes. I think he can do a lot of different things. His skill set allows that.
Yes, sir. And then I want to go to the defensive line, Coach. I know you got some guys on there too. So just tell me a little bit about them and what you kind of like from their play this year. Just, stopping the run, getting pressure on the quarterback.
Yeah, that's definitely similar to our philosophy is, stopping the run first and then being able to get after the quarterback. So those guys do allow that. Kendall Farmer, Harper Holloman, John Betts, Antoine Smith, all those guys are, they've been working really hard. They all committed Division I right now, but they really don't think about that a lot. Our guys don't. They really think more about the team and what the team needs to win. And so they just steadily try to do their job and do it as good as well as they can for us to win games.
Yes, sir. And then, Coach, I'm going to throw this to you. I kind of want you to walk me through, again, you're there every day. So, what does it mean to put on a Westlake line uniform every single Friday night and to be in that program? What are some standards you got to uphold in order to be there and kind of put that jersey on every day? What does it mean to be a Westlake Lion?
I think if you look back at the history and the number of college players and NFL players, I know, when you look at that, you kind of can feel the expectations that come with that. And so when you put this logo on, you represent all of those guys. And I think our guys understand that and they embrace it, because they want to be those guys. They want to be like those guys. So, it's a heavy expectation, but it's definitely a fun one our guys like to live up to.
Yes, sir. And then, Coach, every year you get a new group, new players coming in, seniors graduating. They got to replace different players, people starting in new roles. Just what's been your favorite thing about this group so far?
That they just willing to work. They're willing to put in the work. I think that any group that's willing to just put in the work, no matter what the circumstances are, is a fun group. And we didn't like the way the year ended last year. Even though it was a decent year, we thought, that we should, be able to play with anybody. And so, we didn't like that. And our guys they've used that to, motivate them going into this year. And we want to try to be better this year.
Yes, sir. Well, a couple more, Coach, and I'll let you go. Excuse me. One, I want to talk about that matchup against Cedar Grove, right? Back and forth matchup. I know it was on GPB. Just walk us through how the atmosphere was, Coach. Being at the game, kind of, electric with both teams scoring a lot. Just what was your biggest takeaway from that game, and what did you enjoy about the win from your group?
Yeah, first of all, it was similar to a playoff experience, and that's the games that we play. We play a lot of games at this stature, and we do it, so that we could get ready for region play. And if we get an opportunity to go to the playoffs, we want to bend the plate in big games when we get to those region games. And so that was definitely one of the games that was a big game. And it was back and forth. They're a great football program, and Coach Adams does a good job, and their quarterback's a phenomenal player. Their running back's a phenomenal player. Got a couple, and so it was, it was back and forth. But at the end of the day, we won the game, and our guys found a way to win. And I was proud of them for just finding a way to win, because some people can find ways to lose those games when you get back and forth like that. And finding a way to win showed me a lot about our group.
Yes, sir. And then, Coach, you got a big one coming up this week facing undefeated Newton. You guys are undefeated as well, but I know they got a primetime running back. They like to run the rock. But just what stands out to you about that matchup? What does your group need to do Friday night to come out of there with a win and continue kind of just trekking forward and building momentum for the season?
Yeah, like you said, they run the ball well, effectively. They do a great job taking shots. So, they're explosive on offense. They're, really good on defense. So, we're going to have to play well. We have to play one of our better games, complete games. And, we're looking forward to it. We're looking forward to going on the road. And like I said, it'll probably be similar to another playoff venue. So, we're looking forward to it. And hopefully we can go over and, take care of business the way we should.
Yes, sir. And last question, Coach. Obviously, I don't want to look too far ahead, but you mentioned about, playing in those big games, playing in those, playoff-like atmospheres early, so you're ready for the region. Pretty tough region. You got, East Coweta, you got Carrollton, who's a pretty good team, state runner-up last year. So, Coach, how do you just come out on top in that region and be able to kind of secure that 1 seed and play from home, and things like that?
I mean, we got a long way to go before we can really think about that, but I know that we're going to have to play well, throughout that region run because, those teams are very well coached. They're very good programs. So all teams that you brought up, but we definitely need to continue to work on ourselves before we get to that point for these next couple and see where we can go and definitely try to stay healthy.
Yes, sir. Well, Coach, thank you so much for spending a little bit of time in your day to come on my show. Definitely appreciate it. And thank you for talking a little about your program. And hope to talk to you soon.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me.
Yes, sir. All right, guys. There goes Coach Rico Zachery from Westlake. There's a little bit about his team. Definitely year in, year out. Very good and elite. He does a good job. Came over last year as his first year, but we know they produce NFL talent. A.J. Terrell is a notable alum from their school. I know a lot of their players run track that are the playmakers. They do a good job. We've seen them in the Cocchiara 7-on-7 Invitational. So, that was a lot of fun. But, yeah, they do a good job, man. They're going to be there, I think, when it's said and done. And, there's one of those sleepers I know some people aren't talking about, but year in, year out, they're going to be great. But we got a couple more things we'll talk about before we go to break. We're going to talk a little bit about and roll the tape for Owen Bays before he comes on. Just a couple of things I'm going to talk about that stood out to me real quick was just, great thrower of the football, really knows how to read coverage, a master of the quick game, I think, gets out his hands quick and knows how to fit the ball in tight windows. So we're going to go ahead, get his tape ready, roll it, talk a little bit about it before he comes on. I think got the guest thing at the bottom. See it?
Oh, yes, sir.
No, you're fine. Perfect. Thanks, Craig. All right, let's rock. All right, so this one, he just got the ball out quick. Great job hitting his receiver in stride, letting his playmaker make a play on the ball real quick, out of his hands. Great pinpoint throw. Right here, a little bit of a pressure. Gets it out for a quick screen. And then it gives it to his playmaker. Playmaker just shows his speed, hits the next gear. Phenomenal play right there. Getting the ball to playmaker in space, and let him, do his work. All right, right here, so we slowed it down. I'm going to have Craig move me over a little bit. Yes. So right here, I really want to break down this play. I'm going to have Craig go back and roll it one more time and pause it. All right, right there. Okay, so if you see this play, Owen's going to throw it. Now, this is a very difficult throw, right? And the reason I say that is because you're going to see two defenders, right? Pause right there. So one's right there in the back of the screen and one's right by him. So if he throws it too far inside, that's going to be a pick six, right? That's it. Ain't nobody's going to catch the corner. So me and him talked a little bit about the play, and he threw it to the outer part of his body, to the left of the receiver in this, probably to the right of your screen. And it's just such a pinpoint throw, leads his receiver. Great throw, no pick six. I thought this play really stood out to me, just how he's able to fit it in the tight window, not allow the defender to be able to get it and make a play on the ball. Boom, you see it right there. He goes after the ball. If that's not thrown, pinpoint, that's a pick six. Right here, I slowed it down. You can pause it right here, Craig. Break that down too. That is not an easy throw either. Okay, so right here, boom. Okay, you're going to see three defenders. So if he overthrows it, that's potentially a pick from the backline defender. He's going to fit it in between two defenders. You see the middle linebacker right there, and you see the corner trailing number one, right? So, again, that's a tight window. If that's not thrown correctly, that's a pick. So, it fits it in only where one can get it. Doesn't overthrow one where it goes, and potentially looks like 7 at the bottom can pick it off. So, great pinpoint throw right here as well. Boom. Nice throw right across the middle. Not easy either because you got two defenders you got to fit the ball into. So, great job. All right. Thanks, Craig. Okay. So, right here, booms. Good job. Quick game. Getting out of his hands quick. Letting his receiver make a play. Easy touchdown right there. Again, master of the quick game. Here he is right here. I just love this. I held this right here because, again, not an easy throw. He's going to throw it to the back line. Hold it right there, Craig. Okay, again, so there's not a big window here, right? Again, you got two receivers in the same vicinity, right? Again, overthrow, it's a pick. So he does a good job. He might say, okay, well, he underthrew it. I wouldn't consider it that way. He throws it to the kind of like a back fade kind of a throw, only where his tight end can adjust to the ball and get it. Big time completion. Great throw right there. Boom. See it right there. Held it for you. Nice throw. Only where his tight end can get it. Pinpoint accuracy. Great job right there. Boom. Again, quick game right here. Quick screens. Getting the ball to number one. Letting him go make a play. Right here, just getting it out quick. A little crossing route right there. Not wasting no time. 1-2, throwing it. Right here, he shows a little bit of his mobility. Scrambling out of the pocket, getting some positive yardage. Right here, gets it to his running back pretty quickly. Doesn't allow the rush to kind of get in his way. And again, letting his playmaker make a play. Same thing here. Nice little hitch route. Gets it out quick. See, he's not wasting time. 1, 2, 3, and he knows where he's going. Nice little outside hitch right there. Gets it to the playmakers. Great job. Little read option. Nice little receiver screen again. Gets it to the number one. Same thing. Good little hitch. Got it out quick. Hit the receiver in stride. So, again, a master of the quick game, I think. Great throw of the football. He's throwing it where, it's covered, but he's throwing it in the tight places and the tight windows, only where his receivers can get it. So, I really like that about his game. I think he leads his receivers well. He has a nice deep ball. I think, and one of the distinctions was, I remember talking to head coach Hayden Gregory, and he said the lines are a little bit different in South Carolina than they are in Georgia, right? They're more massive in Georgia. They're more, bigger guys. So you don't have the same kind of lines, the same specifications specifically. Like, you're not going to have a lot of 6'5", 6'6", 6'7". You heard Coach Zachery said he had a 6'8" dude. You're not going to see that in South Carolina. That doesn't grow on trees. So, you have to kind of make up for that in other ways. And I love that part. He was just able to go ahead, line, get it out of his hands quickly, give it to playmakers in space, go let him make a play, while also, keeping his quarterback good. Great mobile QB as well, gets the ball to playmakers. So before we bring him on, we're going to go to break. Thank our sponsor, GeorgiaConstructionCareers.com, and also Alpha Insurance. We'll be back on the other side.
What you doing?
Hey, just finishing this claim to get Dave back on the road.
Nice. I wonder what Dave's doing.
You do your thing. We've got you covered.
Hey, is the power off on this?
I don't know. Just take it off.
Safety violation, unsafe work conditions.
In the construction trades unions, safety is our highest priority, and we train you to recognize and speak out on unsafe working conditions so that everyone arrives and goes home safely. Learn about careers in construction at GeorgiaConstructionCareers.com.
All right, guys, we're back from break. We're going to bring on Owen in just a moment, but I just want to talk a little bit about his play so far this year. 377 yards passing, 3 touchdowns, leading Region 7 4A. Is the only paid pass the third quarter in one game. So, as you can see, they're doing a really good job. But without further ado, let's go ahead and bring on Owen Wilson, the first out-of-state player on the show.
Yo, what's up, man?
What's going on, Owen? How you doing, man?
I'm good. How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. Appreciate you coming on the show, man. You're the first out-of-state player to join the show, man, so definitely big things.
Yeah, I appreciate you having me on, giving some South Carolina some love.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I got to. So, you got a good big game Friday, right? You play Battery Creek on the road. You guys are 2-1. So, just what does your team need to do in your eyes to come out and get a dub on the road and continue kind of just trekking forward with that momentum?
Yeah, the main thing this week is just executing, making sure everybody's in the right spots, making sure everybody knows what they're doing. One of the biggest things this week is just getting the ball out to them, like we always do every week, getting my playmakers, and letting them go make plays because that's what they do. They make it pretty easy for me. So it's just going to be about that we do what we need to do. And if we do that, then should roll on for another win, be 3-1.
Yes, sir. So, we talked a little bit last night, and I want to talk about that play me and you both talked about. I thought it was a great play, just you seeing it, fitting it in a tight window. If you don't throw it right, it's a pick six, but you were able to hit your receiver and only the spot where he could get it. So talk a little bit about that throw and the kind of accuracy you have to have in those tight windows. And how do you work on that in the offseason to make sure you're able to do that when game time comes?
Yeah, so obviously that was a tough throw because I knew once I dropped back, I knew where the defensive where the backer was. So I knew it had to be perfectly outside, or if it was a little bit inside, I was going to get picked off. And there's nobody left back there but me, and I'm not the best tackler on the team, so I knew it had to be outside. And with the preparation, just comes in the off season, making sure I'm hitting the field with my guys, making sure we get our chemistry down, knowing where they're going to break, knowing how many yards deep they'll be, just things like that.
100%. And then, in your opinion, right, you've been playing quarterback for a while. Just what intangibles or tools do you think you need, or you have to possess in order to play at a high level in the high school level?
I say some of the biggest things are being smart with the football, limiting turnovers for the team, because you get the ball every play, so you got to limit the turnovers. Knowing coverages, because if you know the coverages, then you'll know their weaknesses, and that makes it a lot easier. And then just getting the ball out fast, because I know most teams have good playmakers at receivers, so if you get the ball out to them quick, then they'll do the rest of the work for you.
100%. And then, speaking of coverages, Owen, what are some coverages you see a lot, right? Like I know it's high school. I talk to different players. I know you're in South Carolina, but what's something you kind of see a lot as far as just coverages? A lot of cover fours, cover threes, cover twos, cover ones. What are a lot of things you see in high school?
A lot of cover 4 and cover 3. We don't face a lot of man because most of the teams know how well and how good our receivers are, and they don't want to play man to that because you can't stop them. So mostly we get cover 4, cover 3, some cover 2, just a lot of teams that bail a lot so they don't get beat over top.
Now, obviously, Owen, I don't want you to reveal anything about your game plan or nothing like that, but for cover 4, right, and you correct me if I'm wrong, I know it's 4 dropping, as you mentioned, right? You have your corner dropping, your safety dropping, your other safety dropping, and usually your other corner. So the best thing to beat that, I'm assuming, is probably a quick screen or, like you said, getting the ball to playmakers in space. What's just a best beater for maybe a cover 4?
Me personally, I like throwing comebacks because my receivers are selling vertically, which is what they don't want to get beat at, and then they just break it down. So that the corners usually don't expect that. I like throwing comebacks.
Okay, got you. And then for you, man, I want you to talk a little bit about this. Sometimes we'll see quarterbacks, right? They'll get a lot of pressure. And sometimes, they'll cave to the pressure. Some you just see they just throw the ball up and it's a turnover. Some, fumble the ball. So kind of when you see pressure on, what's kind of going through your mind, not to commit a turnover, hurt the team, but 2, also to make a smart play and help your team out?
So my first instinct usually when I get pressure is to run, but I'll try to stay away from that because with my players and our timing, usually if I have pressure, they'll be where they need to be and I can throw it. And if I take a hit, it'll be okay. So I've worked on staying in and throwing it because if I get hit and I throw a touchdown, it's fine. I don't care about the hit. I just care about the touchdown. So usually my first reaction will be to get out and run and then try to slide. But I've worked on trying to stay in there and get the ball to them. And if I get hit, I get hit. Got
you. And I want to talk about an underrated part of football as far as with your receivers, right? How important is timing?
Mm-hmm.
Let's say, hypothetically, someone was dealing with an injury or something like that and you didn't have the same timing and stuff. How important is timing and chemistry with your receivers to make sure you operating at an optimal level, when it comes Friday night? How important is that?
Timing's the biggest thing with my receivers because if you run a route on time and I get the ball out on time, there's no defense that can stop it or you can't defend it. So timing is the biggest thing. No matter who it is, you could have a slower receiver or a faster receiver. If we're on the same page and we both know where the ball's going to be and when it's going to be there, you can't stop it.
Got you. And then, Owen, tell me I know I've seen you went to a couple camps this summer. Just talk a little bit about that. And then, what did you really work on in the offseason to kind of hone and perfect your craft going into your senior year?
Camp season was good. I went to a few camps around South Carolina and North Carolina and Georgia area. Um, usually how they go and try to show out and show out for coaches and try to get on their radar before senior season. And then working on my game, the biggest thing I tried to work on obviously was accuracy, and I'm trying to work on my timing, obviously, because timing is the biggest thing. So if I have good timing, especially on deep balls, and I know where my receiver is going to be, and I put it out there and let them go under and get it, then I know and I trust my receivers that they're going to beat anybody and get over top of anybody. So just worked on getting the ball up and getting it to them where it needs to be and giving them a chance to go get the ball and make a play.
100%. And then, Owen, for us that don't know, walk us through what's the environment and atmosphere like at Bluffton to be a Bobcat, on Friday nights. Like, how is that atmosphere? Is it energetic? Like, walk me through a Friday night in South Carolina at Bluffton.
It's very energetic. I say we have one of the best atmospheres in Carolina, in my opinion. Everybody's super excited. Everybody's fired up. We show out for games with fans. We have sponsors. There's a whole bunch of community events going on. So Friday nights are a big night in the community for the community and the team. So it's just a super energetic environment.
Got you. And then big question I got to thank Craig for this assist. You're playing your former team in a couple weeks, right? You're playing Hilton Head. So tell me, how excited are you to kind of play against the former team and maybe stick it to them in your last year and going against some former teammates and former close friends?
Yeah, I'm excited to play them. It's going to be good, but I try to treat every team the same. I'm excited to play everybody, and I'm not really looking forward to one game. We're trying to win a state championship, trying to win a region championship. So, it's going to be exciting, but I'm just focused on Battery Creek this week, and then when we get to Hilton Head, we'll focus on them.
100%. Respect that. So Owen, tell me a little bit about, how is playoffs in South Carolina? I know every state's kind of different. Is it, top 4 teams go? Like, how does that work as far as making the playoffs in South Carolina? Is it any different or is it like the same?
I don't think it's any different. I'm pretty sure we still have 5 rounds. You play top 4 from each region, and then you just battle it out from there and then get down to the final 2.
Got you. And then, to your knowledge, where are usually the state championships held at?
You think they're either at USC or SC State.
Okay. Got you. All right.
I know this State.
You said this year at SC State?
Yes, sir.
Okay, got you. And then, Owen, tell me a little bit about, first, I want to talk about relationships. I want to start with your head coach, Hayden Gregory. So tell me a little bit about kind of your relationship with him, the impact he's kind of just had on your game and being able to play for him every day.
Yeah, so I first moved here. I moved here in the winter, and Coach Gregory just welcomed me in right away. It was really pleasing to see because obviously going in, it can obviously be nervous for people or weird because it's a new school and you don't know many people. But when I got here, I was pleasantly surprised with how Coach Greg treated me and how the coaches treated me and how they welcomed me in and got me going with how they do things in their culture.
Yes, sir. And then tell me about, to expand a little bit further, tell me a little bit about your relationships with your quarterback coach and then your offensive coordinator. And you just, obviously you moved there last winter, but just, how quickly were you able to kind of grasp the offense and get it going and building that relationship with those coaches?
So when I first moved here, it was the first week I started getting with my offensive coordinator, Coach Karkoff. And just every day during my lunch period, I ate lunch with him, and we went over the playbook and went through every single play in depth, talking where my reads were, what it should look like. So that helped out a lot, getting me integrated into their offense. And then once we started actually getting on the field, I have 2 great quarterback coaches with insane knowledge. I definitely think we had the best quarterback coach room in the nation, probably. I have Coach Skidmore, who played at Southern Utah University, and then Coach Kavanaugh, who played at Pitt and then also played in the NFL for many years and won 3 Super Bowls and then coached in the NFL for many years. So every day I try to listen to everything that they tell me and listen to what they talk about.
Got you. And then before we go to obviously college and recruiting and things like that, Owen, how would you describe yourself if it was a fan or if there was, somebody was like, man, okay, Owen Bay is going to be our new quarterback in college. How would you describe? What are they getting out of you? What do you bring to the table? Kind of give you the floor just to describe yourself and things you bring to the team.
Obviously, I'm going to be a hard worker. I don't miss any days. I don't think throughout this spring and summer I missed a single day of football practice or weightlifting or film sessions. I've never been late. So consistency and a hard worker. And then just on the field, I'm just going to be an athlete pretty much. Get the ball to the people that obviously fans want to see play and get the ball to them and just do my job, be smart with the ball.
100%. And then I know you were excited last night. You picked up a major offer from Culver Stockton College. So walk me through kind of that conversation you had with their program and the coaches and, kind of just the rapport you built with the offensive coordinator and things like that.
Yeah, so I talked to Culver Stockton before, and they asked me to fill out the recruit questionnaire, which is pretty normal for most colleges. And then I didn't hear from them a little bit, and then I checked my email yesterday, and they sent the offer through email. So then we called them just to make sure that it was real, and it was real, and I was very excited to hear that because that's an opportunity to play in college and get a free education. Obviously, student athletes, so academics are really important too. So I'm getting a free education no matter what, which is really important to me.
Yes, sir. And then last offer I want to talk about, I know you got one from Shorter in the summer. I know you went to a bunch of camps. So just walk me through how that kind of came together. Did you get it while you went to a camp, or did they kind of just get in touch with you? How did that kind of come to be, and what was that conversation like and the relationship you built with those coaches as well?
So I went to a camp over the summer at Shorter, and I did very well, and the coaches thought I did very well. And then that night, or it may have been the next night, the quarterback coach texted me, and he said that he had some great news, and he was really impressed with me. So then he called me, and then they said that they would like to offer me. I really like their coaches, their head coach. I love the head coach's message and how he conveys things to his players and how he conveyed things to us at the camp. So I really like Coach Morrison and how he seems as a coach and a person.
100%. And then last thing, obviously I know you have a busy on Fridays, but any schools you're going to be visiting, just, as far as college, or possibly play a game day visit, over the course of the season?
I know this weekend I didn't get this visit, but one of my receivers did, so he's taking me with him. We're going to the Florida-Tennessee game, which love my receivers for him bringing me with me. And then I'm probably going to go to a Wingate game and then maybe a Limestone game.
Okay, great. All right, so now I'm going to ask some rapid-fire, fun questions to get to know you a little bit more, Owen. I hope you like this section, but I think this will be fun.
Do.
Okay, so
Yes,
give
sir.
me a go-to song pre-game.
Low Down by Lil Baby.
Okay. And why that song?
I don't know. I just like the vibe it gets for the team, and then the little clap part. Everybody can get on that, so it's really fun to see everybody participating in a song, I guess. And Lil Baby's my favorite artist, so always gotta listen to him. Got you.
Okay. All right. So Bluffton, I'm throwing a scenario. Bluffton just got a big time victory. It's post game. It's over. You're going with your teammates. What's that favorite post game meal, and what's the order you getting?
My favorite post-game meal is Chipotle.
Okay.
I get a bowl, I get brown rice, and I just get double chicken with the chicken out the store, and then queso, and I eat it with chips.
Me and you are the same. I just don't do the queso, but I do double chicken bowl. I get the brown rice too,
Yep.
and I add the little fajita veggies in the lettuce. Me and you are one of the same.
Oh yeah.
Yes, sir. Okay, so in your mind, favorite clothing brand right now, or best brand you think out right now?
I gotta go with Nike, just because I like Nike clothing, I like Nike shoes, I like Nike shorts, and we're sponsored by Nike, so it's what we wear all the time.
Respect. And the clothes are comfy too.
Yeah, very comfortable clothes.
Yes, and you already answered my other question. Best music artists out right now are your favorite, which you said is Lil Baby. So you answered that one. Madden or
Lil
2K?
Baby on top. Ooh. Ooh. I've played both over the years, so I'm gonna go with 2K. I've had more fun on 2K.
Okay. So tell me why. I got some people say they think Madden is the same game, just regurgitated every year, and then some people like they love 2K. So why? I know you're a football player, so why 2K over Madden?
I don't know. I just feel like I have more friends that played 2K, and then I don't know. It's just like brings back nostalgia from playing some of the older 2Ks. So I still play it now.
Got you. Respect. Okay, I'm the same way. I like 2K over Madden too. Yeah, for sure. Okay, so what's your favorite memory in your playing career? This can be youth football. This can be high school. Just what's been your favorite memory? Just a moment in your life, as far as playing football, you're gonna always like and kind of always cherish.
I say my favorite moment was going 8-0 in my 8th grade middle school season. It was my head coach's last year, and he'd never been 8-0. He never went undefeated, so we went undefeated my last year and his last year. And that was my favorite coach who I've had. He taught me a lot and taught me how to be a man. So that was his last coaching football season and my last season in middle school, and we went undefeated.
Nice. Pretty cool memory, man. Okay. So a couple more, and I'll let you go. Okay, so I need a go-to drink. So if you're parched, you need something to drink.
Ooh.
Some people like water, Gatorade, Liquid Death. My producer that's producing the show. What's kind of your favorite thing to drink?
So if I'm not hydrated, then I'll go water. But if I got my water in for the day, then I gotta go sweet tea.
You know what? Until I started this cleanse I was doing, that was my favorite drink too, man. Some sweet tea, either Chick-fil-A or getting it from the store. I would drink that like constant, man. Yeah, can't go wrong with sweet tea.
Dinner, I'll go with like a pitcher of sweet tea.
Man, you're talking my language, man. All right, man. What's kind of, if you had to say, just a dream school? I feel like sometimes you're growing up, you're watching the sport. It's like, man, I would love to just be a part of that culture. Like, for me, it was like the LSUs, it was UM. Like, I'm a big Miami fan. And I would just always love, kind of them playing. And, growing up, I would watch sometimes, Michael Irvin's, the Ray Lewis's, the Clinton Portis's. What kind of be like your dream school, or just like one kind of gravitated you towards the sport?
I don't really know if I have a dream school. I just kind of want to play wherever I fit in, where I liked geographically, how the coaches were, if I had the opportunity to play. But, I mean, I feel like this is like every kid's answer, but I got to go with Oregon because of the uniforms. I remember playing NCAA 14 with those Oregon uniforms, and it was just, I loved them.
No, 100%. Them what was it called? The neon light ones, the real yellow ones? Those used to be it. Yeah, so I'm assuming you brought up NCAA. I'm assuming you're going to get the game when it come out next year.
Oh, for sure.
What's the first team you playing with? Tough question.
I got to go with NC State because that's my favorite team, NC State, because I'm from North Carolina, so got to play with NC State.
Okay, respect. And last question, Owen, I'll let you get out of here. Just what were some goals you want to accomplish this season? You kind of just set forth. I know team goal you set was state, but I feel like every year I know you said you wanted to prove your accuracy, but was there a certain passing yards, completion percentage, touchdowns? What kind of goal you set forth for the season?
I'm trying to reach around 2,500 passing yards if possible. I didn't really set a goal for touchdowns. Most of my goals have just been team-wise, teammates recruited, trying to help them out, trying to win a region championship, try to go deep in the playoffs, try to beat every team in our county, just stuff like that.
100%. Well, Owen, I appreciate you taking the time out of your busy schedule to come on my show, man. It was a pleasure. Enjoy getting to know you more and kind of highlighting your program and you and football out there in South Carolina.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much for having me on. I really appreciate it. Shine the light on South Carolina. Shine some light on me. So thank you very much.
Yes, sir. Good luck the rest of the way, man. And don't be a stranger. Stay in touch.
Yes, sir.
All right, there goes Owen Bays. Appreciate him coming on the show, man. Definitely a milestone for us. Out-of-state player, man, and I like him, man. I like his mindset, and I like how he talked a lot about team. And you can tell, man, he's a humble dude. It's not selfish. It's not about him. So hopefully, man, he's able to, go and continue to get better and better and play on the next level. Again, his height, you can't replicate. 6'3", 185. You could do a lot with that on the next level, whatever that may be, D1, D2, D3, whatever. He definitely can play, and I like what he's doing, so hopefully he continues to get better, and the school will start to wake up on him because he definitely has some good film. So I'm going to definitely cut the clip I did of him and just the throws and the reads he was making. Hopefully that helps him out. So that is Owen Bays. We're going to take one more quick break, and then we're going to talk a little bit about the second segment before we wrap up the show with the top headlines for the weekend.
What you doing?
Hey, just finishing this claim to get Dave back on the road.
Nice. I wonder what Dave's doing.
You do your thing. We've got you covered.
All right, guys. So another player I wanted to highlight. I got to know him a little bit more personally this year. At Rusty's, if you're not following him, make sure you go give him a follow. Rusty Manziel on Twitter. Over 120,000 followers. The guy just knows the ins and outs of the sport. He's always locked and loaded. But he's getting invited. And if you guys didn't hear about our kind of update yesterday, Georgia Elite Classic is only 3 months away, right? And Rusty sent out a tweet being able to nominate an athlete. I've nominated a couple so far. So definitely go follow us on Twitter at Score Atlanta. Go follow Craig Sager on Twitter and me as well, Najeh Wilk on Twitter. Try to get nominated. Send us your film. One thing I love is breaking down film of athletes. And I'm going to break down Hudson Cocchiara. Great young man. Definitely a great young man. And he got some plays, and he's going to be at our Elite Classic 2026. And Craig, I'm not gonna lie. I know Will Taylor was a staple. I know he's at Georgia right now, but I think this kid has potential to be better than him. And this kid already, I'm gonna say one thing: he's an elite route runner, and you're gonna see it on this film. Some of the plays he was making. Kid is only a sophomore. He has a lot of potential. So let's go ahead and break down his film. All right. So this first play, we're gonna roll back. I slowed it down after this play is over, so Craig, you ain't got to worry about stopping it. But this is a sluggo, so it's going to be slowed down after this, and I'm going to break it down. What he does to the two defenders is criminal, literally. Okay, so you're going to see it right here. So a sluggo is a slant and go. So here we slowed it down. Look at both defenders. They're both on them. Boom. Look at them fake it, sell it, and look at them wide open. Craig, I'm going to have you go back just to show the sell that he did on the play. Okay. Pause it right here. So he just does a great job selling the route, looking at the quarterback. Hey, I'm waiting for the ball. Oh, no, I'm not. Let me dash off. And he dashes off, confuses both. Both like, oh, what happened? And then boom. So, again, that's elite route running right there. Right here, you can't really see it, unfortunately, because it's going to get kind of off. But this is a fade route. Nice tutty right there. You're going to see it on kind of the replay after this, the pictures. But he does a good job. Bunch coverage right there. It's a good job getting the touchdown. Okay, right here, he's going to run a nice little outside hitch. 1-2, boom. Nice job using his hands. Look at him go up and snag the ball. Excellent catch right there. Not using his body, but his hands. All right, right here, one-on-one coverage. Boom. Defender comes up, tries to stop the quarterback. Zooms right past him. Big gain. Look how far he gets. Pretty much near the red zone. Great play right there. Boom. Same thing right here. A little out route. One-on-one coverage right there. Nice little move. Gets the big first down for Hudson. Okay, right here he's going to kind of work in the slot. Boom. Nice job of getting to the flat. Easy target for his quarterback, Preston Clemmer. Turns into a good gain. Nice 9-10 yards. All right, right here I think we're going to get a comeback route. Yup. And pause it right there, Craig. I want you to go back for a second. Yeah, right there. That's perfect. So what I like about this play is it's not the best throw, right? It's not. But what he does a good job is he doesn't let it hit the ground. He gets down low, makes his quarterback look good, comes back with the ball, gets under it. If you guys can see my hands, this is basically what he's doing. When you cup the ball, coming under, catching it. Good job using his hands. Good, strong hands to lock in the catch. You can roll it, Craig. Great job right there. Appreciate you. All right, this is a trips to the left. Nice job. Screen right here. Selling it. Blockers get in front of him. Boom. Lays down the shoulder. Nice catch. Okay, now the blocking. I did not mention that. This is an impressive part of his game. Look at him on this play. Block this defender out of bounds. Completely negates him out of the play. I mean, that's textbook. That's what you want to see. Physicality. Okay, pause here, Craig. It's another block. I'm going to have you roll me down so you can see it. Perfect. Okay, so same thing. You're going to see him completely negate the defender. A lot of times, guys, you see receivers error at. They'll celebrate too early when they see their running back have a big gain. But he does a good job, again, negating the defender out of the play, setting up the big hole, and allowing his running back. You're going to see a motion come over. He's going to hand it right off to him. Look at the block that Hudson makes on this play to open it up and allow the running back to get the big gain. Boom. Look at him stay on there, stay on there. Look at him drive. I mean, that's textbook, man. That's what you want to see. That's the physicality you want to see. That's what you want to see out of your wide receiver position. Excellent. Again, for his age, 10th grader, elite route runner, right? He's already good with the flats, good with the comebacks, good with the hitches, and the sluggo. Like, Coach Bennett does an excellent job with the team, and a lot of people are sleeping on, obviously, Cambridge this year because they lost so much senior talent. But I would let him run deeper routes, like letting him run posts. I like the fade route, letting him run more sluggos. Kid is elite. And what I didn't mention is the kid has deceptive speed, right? You wouldn't think, hey, he's not fast, it's underrated. Kid has speed, man. So he can make, to me, a 40 to 50-yard game whenever he pleases, whenever he wants to. So strong hands, I thought, as well. Uses his body. Some of those, you see kind of cup the ball. Does a good job go get the ball. One of them, you've seen him snag it with his hands, go up and go get it. I love that about his game. A great blocker, I thought. A lot of times you don't see that from receivers. They just want to, get the ball in space and make the plays. They don't block for the running backs. And he already gets it, right? He's already blocking. That can help his running back get a touchdown potentially. He already has that in his mind. I would say the kid's unselfish as well. He buys into the team, very humble. And the last thing I would say on him is that he makes a lot of plays in open field. You're seeing some of those, the hitches, the flats, the slants. He takes them, the screens, and turns them into nice 19-yard games. And sometimes you want that. You're not going to always be able to get the 50-yard play. And you can't have an offense that's predicated on only big plays. You got to be able to get the 9 to 10 to 10 to 15-yarders to help your offense get going. And he can do that at an elite level. So great athlete, great receiver. He's going to be good for Cambridge for a long time. Kid has a bright future. I wouldn't be surprised if some Power 5 start calling. If not this year, definitely very, very, very soon. Maybe towards the end of the year. We'll see. But the kid got the talent that you want to see. All right. So let's roll to latest in recruiting with me, Najeh Wilk. Got some basketball news real quick. Caleb Wilson received an Auburn offer, heavily touted in the 2025 class. I think 2026. He's as highly rated as the number 4 player in the country. So kid's good, play for Highly Innocents. He's going to be one to watch for. Basketball season is nearly upon us. It's around the corner. I know it is football season, but definitely want to get some updates on basketball. And this was reported by Brett Greenberg, star basketball player from Alabama. Caleb Holt recently visited Tuscaloosa. One of the best players also in the 2026 class. Kid's elite. Seen him a couple times at the Tip-Off Classic here in Georgia. He plays at all the elite camps. Kid has a bright future. He's definitely going to be D1 bound. I thought that was big news as well. And it'll be interesting to see if Alabama can keep their talent in state. He's one of those players you don't want to let him get out of the state. So definitely has a bright future. I'm sure I'm going to hear more about him later on. And in this one, I have a clip. We're going to roll it. Now, this is a guy you need to know. 6'9", class of 2025 forward from Shiloh High School. Recently just got a Virginia Tech offer. Kid's elite, man. I mean, when you see this play and him just punch on the defender, yo, we got to roll it. My goodness. Don't jump with me. Just Don't jump with me. And here we're going to slow it down. Look at him use his athleticism. Little hop step. Boom. Right on his head. One more time. Oh, hop step. 1, 2. Boom. You're not getting in front of me in the rim. So, as you guys can tell, I'm definitely excited about basketball season. Will be a lot of fun. I'm going to try to stay in front of the coverage all year long. He's going to be a player to watch. Obviously, him, Jacob Wilkins, who's the son of Dominique Wilkins, plays for Grayson, just transferred from Parkview. I think Grayson is in the driver's seat in 7A, man. I do. I know Wheeler. I know McEachern's going to give him, a little bit of something to say. But you want to talk about, a team that has all the talent, Grayson got it. And they got an elite coach in Jeffrey Pierce, too. And I think we're going to see it this year. So, a little bit about Tyler's, though. Currently has offers from SMU, Columbia State, Ole Miss, Georgia, Old Dominion, Tulane, Auburn, Bama, Texas A&M, Mississippi State, Cincinnati, UAB, and more. So, kids loaded, talented. Tyler's going to be a team to kind of watch for, and he's one of the reasons why. Definitely an elite prospect, has a bright future ahead of him. All right, so let's move to football recruiting news. Buford linebacker Montrez Walker decommitted from Michigan. I think that's big news. He's already came out and said that he wants to kind of take his time now. And I mean, guys, to be honest, that is young to kind of commit, I would say, like, as a junior, sophomore. So, obviously, guys, it's not official until it's official. I think, until you sign your name across that dotted line, anything can happen. So, you always have people in touch with you, calling you, texting you, coaches, getting you to try to commit. So, whoever gets this kid, I mean, they're getting a great linebacker. And he still has another year. We're going to get to see him actually next week for our game. Yes, Buford and Marietta. So, we'll see him up close and personal and get to see just how elite of a prospect he is. He is a 4-star currently in the 2025 class. Now, big game this weekend. Me and Craig talked about it on Underrated and Overlooked. South Carolina and Georgia. Right? I think this is a big game. I think this is going to be definitely a litmus test, obviously, for South Carolina. We've seen them lose game 1 against North Carolina, but, North Carolina almost tried to sell that game and give it to them. But we know how elite of a pass rush Georgia has, and we know they struggled a little bit in the run game and stuff like that. And we'll see how everything comes together. Carson Beck is doing a good job in his first year as a starter. But a lot of elite prospects are going to be in attendance. And, I think it's going to be interesting to see if South Carolina can get the passing game going. Can they protect Spencer Rattler? I don't know. First game, North Carolina, 9 sacks. I don't know. So we're going to find out. But listen to all these elite prospects that are going to be there. All right. You got 5-star safety. KJ Bolden is going to be in attendance for that South Carolina-Georgia game. You got Douglas County 4-star in the 2026 class. Aaron Gregory, who's an elite prospect. He's going to be in attendance also for the Georgia versus South Carolina game. You got Cartersville. Jamari Bryce, heavily touted, recently got an offer from Oregon, heavily recruited player. He will be also at the Georgia versus South Carolina game. Another elite prospect, 2026. I think he's the number 2 player in Georgia. Tyler Atkinson from Grayson will be in attendance for South Carolina versus Georgia game. So, a lot of big prospects going to be in attendance for this game, and it's going to be interesting to see. Now, I'm going to throw this to Craig. I got a question for you. Seeing this kid from Rome kind of blowing up. His name is Jaden Harmon. Seen recently picked up Clemson, Vanderbilt. I think he just picked up another Power 5. So, I know you were at the Rome Carrollton game. I was not. Did you get to see him play at all?
Yeah, he's the defender.
Yeah, defender. Yeah, they got him as linebacker/athlete.
Is he number 32?
Maybe. Let me see.
You tell me what number he is.
Got you. See what they got on Max Preps real quick. Roster. Says number 1.
I need to go back and look at my stat book.
Okay, respect. Yeah, so I just brought it up to Craig because I know he went to see him when Rome played Carrollton on Peachtree TV. I don't remember. Like, I went to a game, too. I went when the opening game when they played Cass. I don't remember seeing number 1 a lot. I remember, like, the standouts for me was obviously Tenerife Stallings and Joe Wilkinson. But, I mean, the kid's blowing up. So, if we do get to see Rome again this year, I mean, he's definitely going to be somebody I'm going to look out for. I mean, kid's blowing up absolutely in recruiting. So, definitely going to keep a closer eye going forward of that kid. I know they got Justin Terrell, who's another stud on their team, but we know how elite their defense is. Rome is. Kept them in the game throughout versus Carrollton. Kind of just fell short. But we're going to leave that there. That's all I got as far as recruiting news currently right now. We're going to flip to the last segment, top 10 headlines for the weekend, presented by GeorgiaConstructionCareers.com. Transform your future. Yes, so definitely want to say this before I start. Thank you so much, Randy, for sponsoring my show. Definitely means a lot. You just believing in me and, giving me the opportunity and now being kind of a sponsor for my show. So that means a lot. I want to give a special thanks to you. And it's going to be a lot of fun going forward, giving top 10 headlines and sponsor segments every single Thursday. So thank you a lot for that. That means so much. So let's go and get started. Number one, as I mentioned earlier in the show, Georgia Elite Classic nominations are now live. So go nominate your athlete. Posted by Rusty yesterday on his Twitter, tagged a bunch of different people, Jeremy Johnson, Chad Simmons, myself, Score Atlanta, Craig Sager, and more. So go nominate your athlete today. Send that film. We would love to break it down, and we would love to look at it and hopefully be able to give a nomination. It's a fun event. It's in Rome. It's a 3-day event. It's sophomores versus freshmen. I think there's a juniors game, a seniors game, and an 8th grade. So really, man, what's so great about it really quick is that if you're a youngster in your 8th grade and you're getting noticed already, or even a freshman, you could put some good tape out, and you can use that same tape to give to recruiters, to give to coaches, and to kind of help yourself get going as far as recruiting at a young age. And I think that's what's so great about the event is you're getting put on a platform. You're on Peachtree TV. You're able to showcase your talent, and you're able to build relationships with not only just the coaches but also the players. And it really helps. Going forward in your high school career. So a great event. Definitely go sign up. Everything is on ScoreAtlanta.com and Score Atlanta Twitter. So go check that out. Number 2, Prince Avenue Christian wins Offensive Line of the Week after a dominant performance. They continue to kind of show out and do good. I know they're trying to be on TV. I know they got an elite player, and obviously Aaron Fowler, who's committed to Georgia Tech. Great player. And then they got another player. You know what? I got to look it up. I'm losing his name. I know he's being heavily recruited by Bama. Let me see. I don't want to butcher his name. Okay. Let's see. Okay, here it is. Yeah. See, I almost going to say Anderson, so I'm glad I looked it up. Christian Garrett, Prince Avenue Christian. He's another player to watch out for on the defensive front. I know they got new playmakers this year, but again, his offers real quick. Alabama, Auburn, Clemson, Duke, Florida, Georgia, Georgia Tech, South Carolina, Tennessee. So he's definitely a name brand player. Another, good weapon, good defensive player for Prince Avenue Christian. I think they're on the driver's course for playing in another state championship. Number 3, basketball Wheeler forward Josh Hill picks up a Georgia State offer. He's going to be one to watch this season for Wheeler. As I mentioned earlier, the top programs in 7A, Wheeler, McEachern, and Grayson, kind of my top 3. I know rankings will be kind of split up, but I think that'll be a lot of fun to kind of watch that. Definitely be an athlete to watch for. Number 4, Relentless Hoops has basketball camps coming up. This is actually year 4 for this. Camps are scheduled for September 30th and October 1st. Just a great camp and exposure for kids in basketball. Be able to kind of get, good training, good coaching, make connections, and give yourself exposure. I think it's a great event. Go check it out on relentlesshoops.com. Their Twitter is Relentless Hoops as well. I think that's a great camp to go to for kids that want exposure. Number 5, Westlake softball continues their dominant start to the season, currently 12-3. Number 1 in the region in softball, recently won 11-1 against West Hall. Jessica Epps had a lot to do with that. She had 11 strikeouts and an RBI. Shayla Barr, she was 4 for 4 with an RBI, 2 triples, 2 doubles, and a stolen base. So great job by her. Number 6, Craig, you will like this. New Walton baseball facility has finally been done. We got to see it right before the season started. For Walton, me and you took a tour when we did our little interview with Hunter Teal. So added the clip. It's called The Yard. I think it's an exceptional masterpiece of how they put it together. Let's go ahead and check it out. So you see they got a little bit of the concessions right there. Parking lot. That's going to be their field house. Stadium super green. I like it. All right, so obviously this is where the batters will be. This is where you kind of warm up before games. Looks pretty nice. Very modern. This is where the locker rooms will be at, where the players will get their gear on and stuff like that. Game day ready. And that's the baseball field. I mean, that looks pretty sweet to me.
They kept that center field that was at the old stadium too.
Really?
Yeah, that higher wall.
I like that. I like that. And I like how they got the trees in the background, the ambiance and environment. It looks real cool, man. And then that would be, obviously, that's the stadium. Or stands, I should say. Where they would sit. I'm guessing that would be probably the visitor dugout. I guess this is where the, kind of the pitcher get loose before he comes on. Nice little area right there. Yeah, and that's the school. So, pretty cool. School kind of looks like a college campus a little bit. All right, so that is new Walton baseball facility. I'm sure it'll be a lot of fun for fans. Called The Yard. Baseball season will be in the spring. So, definitely, they just announced this, I think, earlier this week, September 10th, I think. So, wanted to share that. I think that's a lot of fun as well. Number 7. East Forsyth off to another strong start in softball. They started off with a 11-5 record. They're 9-1 in the region. Picked up a 7-2 win versus North Hall on Tuesday. So far, in just their short 2-year history, they have finished second or better in softball. So they're doing a great job. That is not an easy feat, guys, to kind of be a new program and already be competing at a high level in your region and making playoff spots. That is not an easy thing to do. So coach does a great job, very competitive every year. So I wanted to give some love there. They're doing a great job with their softball program. All right, number 8, announced yesterday, GHSA. As you guys know, they help sponsor our show, and the reason why we have a new insurance partner. Before we had Georgia Farm Bureau, now we have Alpha Insurance. So GHSA yesterday announced a new 3-year deal with Alpha Insurance as their sponsor. As you guys all know, Alpha Insurance is the title sponsor for Craig's show. My title sponsor is GeorgiaConstructionCareers.com. Craig's is Alpha Insurance. So that's a big deal for GHSA. They get a new deal with Alpha Insurance, and you guys will be seeing a lot of their ads going forward if you haven't seen them already. All right, number 8. Number 9. I think this is a big game. As you guys see, I'm trying to bring in a little bit of out-of-state in the mix as well. If I had the first out-of-state player on the show, ever. So this is a big out-of-state matchup, I think. Moody, Alabama, 3-0. They take on Bishop McNamara at home. That team is from Maryland. Both a pair of undefeated teams. I would say championship aspirations. I know Moody is led by the junior stud quarterback, 3-star Charlie Johnston, who has a lot of offers, and I know they also got a stud running back as well that's going on to play Power 5 football. So that'd be a good test for Moody, kind of see where they align, where they're at currently right now. Definitely having a pretty good season. We got to see him in a 7-on-7 Corky Kell Invitational, and it was a lot of fun watching the program. So that would be a good test for them. Interested to see the result of this game, who comes out on top. That's number 9 headline. And then number 10, we got another graphic to show you to wrap up the show. Before we show it, though, I kind of want to put this into perspective, guys. And Craig brought it up yesterday. Only 12 players ever have graced, well, I won't say 12 players ever. 12 high school players ever have graced the cover of Sports Illustrated. Okay? Julian Lewis just became the next one. A lot of times you'll see they'll get the next big thing, top athlete, as you guys seen. We've had him on our show. We've had probably 2 or 3 TV games with Juju so far. He's already made a state final. He was a state runner-up last year. Had a lot of hype going into his freshman year. I thought he lived up to expectation. I don't think there was nothing else you can do to win that game against Mill Creek. Mill Creek was just on another level. I mean, he threw for 500 yards and 5 touchdowns as a freshman. It's pretty good. So all I'm saying is this is a rare feat, and we're going to pull up the graphic, but he is the youngest player ever to grace a Sports Illustrated cover. And we're going to go ahead and show you guys what that looks like. So, as the tweet says, Julian Lewis, at 15 years old, is now the youngest football player ever to be on the cover of Sports Illustrated, 5-star USC quarterback commit. He's the number 1 prospect in the class of 2026 on On3 Recruits and also 247 Sports. That's crazy, guys. That is not normal. You don't see that a lot. And he's a good young man. I mean, you know, he's humble. And he talked about his relationship. If you guys seen a couple times we talked to him, the relationship he's had with Coach Joey King and what he's been on his career. And the reason I bring up Joey King is because he knows a little thing or two about coaching elite quarterbacks and getting them to where they need to be. If you guys didn't know, great fact here, he coached Trevor Lawrence at Cartersville. Hey, guess where Trevor Lawrence is at? It's in the NFL, right? Number 1 overall pick. Won a national championship. Hey, he knows a little thing or two about coaching an elite prospect, and this is what Julian is. And Sports Illustrated is basically proclaiming him, you know, as the next big thing, essentially. So, can't wait to see. I know he has a bright future and a career ahead of him. If he stays committed and goes to USC, he's going to have a great coach. Gosh, why am I butchering the coach's name? What's the coach's name for USC? I can't think of his name. Can't think of it either. Who's the head coach for USC? Thank you. I could not think of that. Yes. So, we've seen what Lincoln Riley has done with some of the better quarterbacks in the country, right? He's coached the Spencer Rattlers. He's coaching the Caleb Williams now, who was won a Heisman, one of the best quarterbacks in the country, the presumptive number 1 overall pick. So he's going to a program with a coach that knows what he's doing, you know, and knows how to get the most out of his talent and his players. So, things gonna be interesting, man. And the cool thing is me, Craig, and Rusty, and Brandon Adams, and all the people across Georgia, Chad Simmons and Jeremy Johnson, will get to get a driver's seat and get to see this kid play for 3 more years, high school football at a high level before he goes on to college. And we'll probably already know a lot about him before he leaves. So just want to congratulate him on that. That is not an easy feat to do. They don't do that a lot normally. You really have to be the next big thing. So I think the youngest ever to grace the cover, I mean, that's an exceptional thing. And he's going to be a fun storyline to kind of watch out for as the seasons go. So, as always, guys, thank you for tuning in for another show. It was a lot of fun. New things happening. Got our title sponsor now. First out-of-state guest. Was a lot of fun. Keep it tuned for Craig's show tomorrow. I know he's going to have Ed Dudley on, drive for the GHSA state title, presented by Alpha Insurance. I think you had Northwest Whitfield's Josh Robinson's also going to be on. So you guys stay tuned for that. That'll be a lot of fun. Be a great weekend. Stay tuned for our game tomorrow. Blessed Trinity versus Marist. That'll be a lot of fun. A quick note on that. Watch for the playmakers for Blessed Trinity. That's all I'm going to say. They got some elite playmakers in Zion McKenzie, and Bryce Lewis is a good 6'6". So watch out for that in this game. That'll be a lot of fun. Thank you so much for tuning in. We're going to wrap up here. And thank you so much, as always. And thank you to Georgia Construction Careers for another great show. All right, we'll see you guys later. Peace.
Hey, is the power off on this?
I don't know. Just take it off. Safety violation. Unsafe work conditions.
In the construction trades unions, safety is our highest priority, and we train you to recognize and speak out on unsafe working conditions so that everyone arrives and goes home safely. Learn about careers in construction at GeorgiaConstructionCareers.com.